Congratulations to all you new parents. We need to talk about something, and we need to talk about tummy time. Tummy time is often one of those dreaded subjects for new parents because it's typically associated with their new baby crying a whole lot, but also the parent having a hard time seeing their baby crying and them crying inside. So, at the end of this video, you will have a deep understanding of tummy time and how to help your newborn handle it. My name is Tim Rossner, pediatric physical therapist, and welcome to my channel, Tummy Time Academy. At Tummy Time Academy, we break down the math and the science of common early childhood development topics, such as tummy time, for example. So, before we delve into why newborns are so bad at tummy time, let's talk about what newborns can do. Right from birth, newborns are working on visual skills. Currently, they see things very poorly. They can focus on objects 6 to 10 inches away. They see things with high contrast better, such as black and white images. But keep in mind, their favorite thing to look at is you guys or their parents. And we should also note that they can swing their arms ballistically. Babies typically develop strength from a top-down progression. So, for example, they first work on their neck strength, then their arm strength, core strength, hip strength, and leg strength to the point when they're taking steps independently for the first time. For babies between the ages of 0 months to 2 months, they're currently working on improving on their neck and arm strength. So, let's break down the different muscle groups we are looking to strengthen when doing tummy time. Here we have a profile of a baby doing modified tummy time on a cushion. At the base of the skull and at the top of the neck, we have our first muscle group, which is called the capital extensors. In anatomy, capital typically refers to head, almost like a baseball cap. So these muscles work to tilt the chin up, like this. In the front of the neck, we have our cervical flexors. In anatomy, cervical typically refers to the neck, and these muscles help to tuck our chin down and back, like this. For kids in tummy time, this helps for them to lift their face off the floor. Now along the spine, we have our next muscle group called the erector spinae. Let's just call these back extensors for simplicity. Now these help to lift a child's head and chest off the floor by extending their spine. And lastly, we have in front of the chest our pectorals and the shoulder muscles called the deltoids. For simplicity, let's just group them all together as shoulder muscles. And in tummy time, these help to push our chest off the floor. Now, I like to think of these 4 muscle groups as employees, which are working on completing one single job, and that is to lift the head and chest off the floor. But what are they working against? Well, it pretty much boils down to 2 things: weight mixed with gravity. Let's say our newborn's head weighs something like 2 pounds, and the length from the top of their head to the mid-chest is something like 10 inches. And then we have this newborn positioned lying on a cushion at a 45-degree angle. I am drawing what's called a free body diagram. Now, we're going to break down the math of tummy time for you. The force that our newborn has to produce to fight against the weight of their head is equal to the mass of their head times this length here, the horizontal length. Now, we know what the length from the top of the head is to mid-chest, so let's do some math to figure out what this horizontal length is. We're going to do some trigonometry. The hypotenuse here is 10 inches, and the angle of our newborn's 45 inches. So let's use cosine A is equal to B over C. We'll rearrange this formula to be B equals cosine A times C. And let's fill in the variables. Now we have B is equal to cosine 45 degrees times 10 inches. And now we get that horizontal length to be 7 inches, or approximate 7 inches. Let's plug this into our first formula to find the force that our baby has to fight to lift their head and chest off the floor. So we have force is equal to 2 pounds times 7 inches. We get a force of 14. Now this, again, is how much force our newborn has to produce to fight against the weight of their head when lying on this cushion at a 45-degree angle. Now let's compare to another situation. Say we have our same newborn, but instead of lying on a cushion, we lie them on the floor instead, right? That's what we initially think of when it comes to tummy time, just them lying on the floor. Go at it, strengthen yourself. So let's go back to our trigonometry. The hypotenuse again is 10 inches. That's the length from our newborn's head to mid-chest. But the angle this time, instead of 45 degrees, it's 0 degrees. Again, that's them lying flat on the floor. So let's fill in our variables. We have b is equal to cosine 0 degrees times 10 inches. And b is going to be 10 inches. Now let's plug into our first formula to find the force that our newborn has to fight against this time. We're going to take 2 pounds, that's the weight of our newborn's head, times that length that we found, which was 10 inches. And now we get a force of 20. So just by switching from lying on a cushion at 45 degrees to lying flat on the floor, the force we are asking our newborn to fight has gone up from 14 to 20. That's right, we are asking our kiddo to do 42% more work when lying flat on the floor. Not only that, their face is probably all smushed up against the cold, hard floor, all while their parents are sitting on a couch grievously watching their new miracle of life struggle to complete the recommended 3 to 5 minute bouts of tummy time for 2 to 3 times each day. Ask yourself, how would you like it if your boss wanted you to work 42% harder with your face all smushed up against the cold surface? That is why newborns have a difficult time when doing tummy time on the floor. Now, I can imagine all the new parent faces out there when I said 3 to 5 minutes for 2 to 3 times per day. That's correct. Those numbers are straight from the American Academy of Pediatrics. So let's talk about some strategies to help meet those recommendations. So we're going to break this into 3 steps, and I'm going to leave a lot of creativity for you parents out there. So first step, we're going to modify tummy time to make it easier or at least appropriate for our newborn's current skill set or the current strength of those 4 muscle groups that we have. We already broke down the math of how changing the angle of tummy time can significantly make this chore easier. Now, this goes to say I don't want you all going out there and making tummy time as vertical as you can because that's going to be too easy. They're not going to be doing enough work for them to improve on their strength. Second, I broke down the muscle groups we are looking to strengthen and use in tummy time, and I referred to them all as employees. Now, we've all experienced that one employee at our workplace who isn't carrying their fair share. That means the rest of the coworkers have to pick up their slack. And in the case of tummy time, we had 4 employees, right? Let's just say one of those employees, typically the shoulder group, is out doing something else, like their arms are off to the side as if the kiddo was trying to fly, and they're not underneath the chest trying to push up. That means the other 3 muscle groups have to work that much harder to pick up the slack of the chest. So how about we position our newborn's arms underneath their body, almost like in adults we're doing a plank position. That way, tummy time is using 4 employees instead of 3 employees to complete the job. And third, this is a newborn we're talking about, not a simple math equation. We got to make tummy time fun. So in the beginning of this video, I talked about what a newborn can do between the ages of 0 months to 2 months. Again, they can focus on objects 6 to 10 inches away from their eyes. They see things with high contrast better, such as black and white images. However, again, their favorite thing to look at is gonna be your parent's face. And they also swing their arms and legs ballistically. Well, if you followed step 2, then their arms are already occupied with another job, underneath their body trying to push themselves up. So we can't expect them to reach out and swing at toys at this time. That will come down at a later age. Instead, try positioning high contrast pages or those crinkle paper about 6 to 10 inches away. Down low, so again, they don't need to lift their head super high, or even get down on the floor with them so they can look at their favorite thing to look at, your guys' face. Or how about we modify tummy time by placing them in a face-to-face position on your chest and making funny faces with them 6 to 10 inches apart. This is the creativity that I'm talking about. Take these as principles and get creative with tummy time. Modify it to meet your newborn's skill. Thank you for watching my complete guide to tummy time for newborns 0 to 2. I want to hear about your experience with tummy time. I want to hear about the creative you guys got. What creative positions did you use? And what creative ways did you use to entertain your newborn? Not only will this help add to my toolbox, but also others that read your comments can learn from what you guys did. If you enjoyed or learned one thing from my video, please hit that like button. If you want more content like this, then hit that subscribe button. Also, help educate your friends and family and share this video. Again, this is Tummy Time Academy. We break down the math, we break down the science of those common topics in early childhood development. I hope you guys enjoyed my video, and I hope to catch you on the next one.